What's up, everybody? It's Chase with Energy to Conquer, and today is day 49 on my experimental journey to increasing my energy, my mental clarity, and my overall focus. Guys, today is day 49. This is my recap on week 7. I'm almost halfway through this thing, right? Tomorrow's day 50. Hard to believe, guys. So look, guys, if you feel like you don't have enough energy, if you feel like you're tired all the time, you feel like you wake up tired, you feel like you're tired when you get home from work, if you feel like you don't have time that you need or the energy that you need to spend with your family, with your friends, be sure to subscribe to this channel, because that's what it's all about. Be sure to hit the bell icon. Be sure, if you like this video, if there's any information in here that resonates with you, that you benefit from, be sure to give us a thumbs up, right? Give us a comment below. Let us know what you think, good, bad. We're idiots. Let us know below, right? Anyways, guys, today is my recap on week 7. So week 7 was all about not eating after 5 o'clock, right? So, you know, it's out of my norm. It's difficult for my schedule. Because my wife, she doesn't even get home till about 5:30 or 6 most days. I work from home. We've got kids, and it's like I'm doing 75 hard. Plus, I'm running a business. Like, there's a lot going on here, and it's been a challenge, right? It's been a lot bigger of a challenge than I thought it would be, to be honest with you, most days. So throughout this week, I have consistently, I guess, probably been about not quite 5. A few days I have made 5, but more so it's been about 5:15, 5:30. So it's been close, right? I've stuck to it. I've done my best. I need to do better. But that, you know, that brings up a lot of issues with time management and just having so much going on. So I've been able to stick to it pretty good, but I need to do better, right? But overall, my takeaway from the not eating after 5 o'clock is I do wake up and I do feel better. I feel energized. Actually, last night I failed. I forgot all about it. I went hiking with my family. We watched the sunset. Came back. We had a watermelon. My son, he's 4.5. My other son was gone at a sleepover, and so we had a late night snack on the watermelon. We cut it up and ate it probably about 9, 10 o'clock, and I woke up, my stomach was gurgling, but it's all good. So that was, woke up in the middle of the night. But, you know, other than that, I've done pretty good this week, other than that last night. But I do wake up feeling better. I wake up feeling, you know, more energized and more focused. I can't tell that it's really helping my energy throughout the day as much, because I normally eat a relatively clean, well, food combined diet in the evenings. And food combining is basically not mixing your starches and your proteins and eating fruits by themselves. So I'll get into some of that stuff later. I'm not really getting into that, but basically by starches is basically carbs. So mixing carbs and proteins, your body uses 2 different methods to digest those. And so when you consume those mixed together, like is normal in every meal we eat in Western culture, like the American, the SAD diet, right? It's a bug tried flying in my ear. But the SAD diet, which is the standard American diet that's put out by the FDA, that's, you know, by the US government, that's taught in schools, like they teach you to mix these foods, but your body doesn't, it uses different processes to digest each type of food. So by food combining, it's actually optimizing your digestion, helps your body digest faster, helps you have less, I guess, indigestion, less gas, because basically what's happening with those things is the food is fermenting in your stomach, because some foods, I guess, digest faster than others, like fruits. Typically fruits take about 15 minutes. And, you know, when you start mixing carbs and proteins, it just becomes this mess, and then you throw fruit on top of it. So a lot of the indigestion problems, everything in the indigestion aisle, most of that can be solved with just proper food combining. And it really is, like, it's weird, but like when you start doing this for a while, you know, and you become aware. But like when you properly food combine, I guess, you have indigestion, you know, you have gas, you have whatever it is, like it's like, wait, what did I eat? And that's where your mind naturally starts going, which is so far from the norm. So that's what I normally do. That's probably 80% of my diet is that way. If I'm going to eat fruit, I'll eat fruit first. I'm going to eat carbs usually like for breakfast. I eat some, you call it ancient oat cereal. It's got quinoa and all kinds of stuff in it. So if I do eat that for breakfast, you know, I'll cook some eggs, and I'll eat eggs probably 2 hours later, right? And just kind of give time for that to digest before I put the protein on top of it. And so that's kind of off on a different topic on that, but I just want to say that to say, like, I was already fucking focused on this, but still a lot of times I didn't eat till 6 or 7, sometimes 7:30 at night. So I do feel a little better when I wake up in the morning, but it's not a huge difference for me. But I'm sure if I was eating, you know, fast food burgers and fries at dinner or at 8 o'clock at night and then going to bed at 10 or 10:30, I know that would be having an effect because I've done that. Or eat a pizza, right? That's more like it. Bring a pizza home. You know, it's late getting home, late working. It's like, screw it, I don't want to cook. Go buy a pizza, you know, suck down about a large pizza by yourself, and then go to bed. That pizza's taking forever to digest because it's just nothing that is well cooked food combined with that. And usually when you eat pizza, you do end up with some indigestion problems, usually, you know, that night or the next day. So, you know, so I'm kind of away from that already coming into this, so it wasn't a big earth-shattering shift. But I'm saying, if that's not your norm, you need to try this and do it. I'm going to stick to it. I like it. Honestly, I love the discipline, because what I do is, you know, I eat usually some leftover protein or whatever at, you know, probably I try to start at 4:30, but it ends up being about 5. So it's 5:15, you know, maybe 5:30 a couple days. But I eat the protein, and then I cook dinner for the family, whatever. And then, you know, when we sit down to eat dinner, I'll just eat like a small, probably a medium side salad. Probably large for a side salad, but small for a, I guess, an entree salad, so to say. And not just light toppings, right? Just oil and vinegar, maybe a little bit of cheese, but that's about it. So I like the discipline of how that feels. So either way, I feel like I'm more energized because I practice that discipline. And honestly, I do feel better in the evenings. Like, I don't get weighted down with the meal, because a lot of times when we eat in the evenings, we eat a big heavy meal. Usually we overeat because we're making up for calories that we didn't eat during the day, or our body's trying to get nutrition that it didn't get throughout the day. So we end up overeating. But what happens is, after we eat, we just feel like hell the rest of the evening. So I think that is a huge part. I was honestly coming in this to looking at waking up, jumping out of bed with more energy and running through the day. And I think I do have a little bit more energy. I know I have more mental clarity for sure. But it doesn't last throughout the day like I was hoping for. But in the evenings, like, I have time to hang out with my kids after I eat. I want to hang out with my kids. Like, I'm not just dead tired. I'm not in a bad mental state because my brain's all fuzzy and cloudy. Like, I almost feel energized after I eat because I've ate well. And I've ate good foods, and I'm not overeating, and my body's not wasting all this energy and digestion. But part of that's going to come back to making sure that you're getting your food in throughout the day, right? And getting what your body needs, your calories, your macros, whatever it is throughout the day, you know, your vitamins, your nutrients, through eating healthier food throughout the day. You can't skip breakfast, eat a light lunch, and then come home and do this, because you're probably going to be starving and it's not going to work. That's the reason most of us overeat. So I talk about that in some earlier videos. The other thing with this is, the big problem with this, and I made 2 long videos, but they're great videos. You need to go watch those videos. I'll link them in the comments below. It should have been day 47 and 48. So there's enough there to keep you busy for a while. But it's really on, I guess, how we're conditioned to not eat this way. And when you start doing this, and you start trying to put in place any habit that goes against the norm, you're going to get a lot of pushback from people you love, people that love you, like, just from all these, from the media, from, you know, the things you see on TV. It's just, you're going to feel like this alien from Mars when you start doing any of this stuff. And so that goes into all that, and just why you struggle with temptation, why it's so hard, and why it's such a struggle just to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And that goes into all that. But as you start doing this and you try to eat earlier, you become this oddity almost. You're like, oh, I got to eat before 5 o'clock. And then people, you know, it's just weird, especially if you're around other people. You know, when you're around your family, it's not that bad. But when you're out, you know, and with friends or whatever, like, oh, I got to eat by 5 o'clock, or I'm not eating. So, you know, that's something that kind of come up through this. And I think those are some important videos that everyone needs to watch. And so, yeah, that's my takeaway from week 7. I'm getting ready to hit into week 8. Week 8, I'm going to focus on time management because I realize that's somewhere I'm failing. So this week, in week 7, with not being able to get that in by 5, I've got a shit ton of stuff going on. Like, it's just everything's going on right now, and it's summertime, and you know, I've got, in addition to everything else, I'm going through energy management. I got my wife on a program that I'm helping her go through on energy management and kind of better managing her energy at work, so she doesn't come home so depleted and tired. And there's a couple things that's involved with that, but throughout her day, and then when she comes home. So I'm trying to be more active and more ready when she comes home, and kind of have dinner either going or hopefully ready, and kind of take care of the kids while she has some time for herself, kind of self-care, that kind of stuff, just to recharge, re-energize. And so that's in addition to 75 hard, in addition to running the business, in addition to trying to eat myself by 5 o'clock. There's a ton of stuff going on. So what I'm focusing on this week coming up, on week 8, is going to be the time management. And I'm going to stick to strict workout times. I'm going to start work times. It's like, you know, I'm going to sit down today and I'm going to create a schedule, and I'm going to stick to it for a week. And there's a couple things with that. Number one, it's going to help me be able to get more done, because I'm going to spend less time in limbo. It's going to spend less time in, I guess, indecision. I made a video about that way back. Go look it up on the channel, indecision, and like how it's destroying you. Just the uncertainty and the indecision of not knowing what to do next. Whereas if you got a clear-cut, you know, schedule, you know, okay, well, 10 o'clock I do this, you know, 11:30 I do this, 12 o'clock I do this, right? So when you've got that, you don't have to think. You can just do and just show up. And then a lot of times we create this dread in our head because through this indecision process, whereas we have this stuff laid out, there's almost a hack there in itself, because we don't have to think. We can just show up and do, right? And so that's powerful in itself when you learn how to leverage that. And it's a skill, it's a muscle. Time management's a skill, diet, nutrition's a skill, all right, fitness is a skill. All these are skills that we're building throughout this, in case you haven't realized that. And they're habits, daily habits. So that's what I'm focusing on this week coming up. I'm also focusing on getting back onto the strength training, and I'll talk about that more tomorrow. I'm going to jump into doing 2 probably strength training workouts, and I'm 75 hard. I got to do 2 45-minute workouts, so I'm going to do one in the morning, one in the afternoon, probably late afternoon. I don't know. I haven't worked out the schedule yet, but I'm going to stick to that schedule. I had the first 4 weeks I was doing a really hard strength training program with Jim Stepani, one of his programs, and it was really hard, and it was way over a time commitment. So I went through that and kind of was in the indecision place there for that was 4 weeks, and the next 4 weeks was kind of I never really sat down and made a plan. I didn't really have a clear plan in my head. I didn't have a clear plan when I started that one, so I wanted to jump into that one and just be 100%, but it ended up being too much of a time commitment, because I think the last full workout I did was 2.5 hours. And it's like, I can't do that. That's not what this program, that's not what this channel is about. That's not what this challenge is about. You know, this experimental journey to increase my energy. It's not about, because realistically, most people can't go do a 2.5 hour workout. You're definitely not going to be able to start out at a 2.5 hour workout. So I do understand the fitness, or the importance of strength training, and that's what I'm jumping back into. So I'm going to be focusing on that, and probably do some HIIT intervals, maybe 2 HIIT intervals for 7 minutes within those 45 minutes of the strength training. I'm going to create a workout plan and kind of jump into that. Tomorrow's day 50, like it's halfway mark, and I think for the next 50 days I'm going to focus more on the movement part, like time management. Like, I've covered a lot of stuff coming up to this, and I'm going to cover some stuff in the middle, but you know, a lot of the remaining part of this, I'm really going to focus on the movement part and see what happens, or a big chunk of it, I guess. It's not going to be all of it, because there's going to be some more stuff, you know, alkalizing, different things like the breathing. I've done that, and I'm continuing to do that. That's a struggle as well, and that's part of the time management, is adding that in there. So, you know, what have we done so far? There's so much stuff, right? There's so much stuff you can take away from this and start doing right now, today. It's insane just to think about, but I'm just keep adding these habits and stacking them, like the morning ritual, the morning routine. Like, I've been doing that, but it's not been as consistent as I would like. Like, I've definitely improved, and I get up in the mornings, and I've been doing just some light yoga and stretching, but I was trying to get that in for my 45-minute workout. So I would stretch that out a little bit, but I think I'm just going to do that for like 20 minutes or something, and then just jump into something else. So this week I'm going to start getting up probably about 4:30. and strictly get up at 4:30. First time the alarm goes off, no snooze, just get up, boom, go, and do that for the next 7 days. Probably getting to bed by 9. Definitely start no phone after, I don't know, 8:30. That way it's kind of wind down. It's done for the day. And so get back to that. That's something I've done before, and that's part of the time management. You know, if you want to start your day earlier and you have trouble getting up, that starts with what time you go to bed and how ready you are for bed. Like your mind's still running, you're not slowing down, and you try to go to bed and you can't get, like, I can't sleep, I can't go to bed early. Yeah, of course you can't, right? So a lot of that's going to come into this week. It's going to be plenty of stuff on that. And yeah, that's about it. I'm going to be doing some strength workouts with some HIIT mixed in like I started with. They're just going to be 45-minute workouts because I'm going to modify these workouts. I'm going to put together a plan, my own plan, based off the plans I was doing when I started this. And so the next 50 days, I'm going to focus a lot more on the fitness. I'm going to add in some fitness into, or maybe some HIIT training, just something to get the cardio up. Maybe some weights for like every hour, you know, do 10 minutes of something. I've got a couple workouts that I'm looking at, maybe some ab workouts. There's some other things, more mobility workouts. I've got some, you know, I have back problems from time to time. There's just one place in my back it just catches, and I know something's off, something's weak, there's a muscle. So maybe through that process, I can, in addition to getting my heart rate up, I can work on that. And so, you know, all this stuff is coming up. I'm gonna start doing some things, maybe some more intense things, maybe some lighter things, and just doing those breaks. But it's the big push for the last 50 days of this is going to be focusing on more of the movement side, because I've got a lot of these other habits in place. The morning routine, the breathing, the eating 2 salads a day, the not eating after 5 o'clock. Like, I'm going to continue all these things, and that's the whole point of this, is just to get to this point where I'm maximizing my energy and kind of show you things you can do, but also show you how you're not going to start doing this stuff overnight. This is 100 days, right? This is something I'm doing on a weekly basis. I'm just adding to this, right? And these are skills and muscles that I'm building, these disciplines, like it's muscles that I'm building as I go along. And so, you know, as we go through this right off, I'm sure I probably forgot something, but you get my point. So there's a lot of this stuff coming in, you know. Probably going to add drinking some more alkaline water throughout the day to kind of more alkalize and see how that affects things. And so yeah, that's where we're at. Week 7 is a wrap. This is my recap on that. Tomorrow I'm going to do an intro and go more into this for the beginning, an intro of week 8. But until then, hope you guys have a blessed day.